Welcome back to Methodcast, your cozy corner for clarity, calm, and those subtle shifts that change everything. This is the podcast that's here to help you break free from porn the easy peasy way. No guilt, no struggle, just a new perspective that makes quitting feel natural. Because real freedom isn't about giving something up, it's about gaining back everything porn has taken from you. Today, we're diving into something that doesn't get enough love in our fast paced, complicated world: simplicity. Not in a minimalist aesthetic kind of way, but in the way the Easy Peasy Method talks about it. The kind of simplicity that cuts through the noise, dissolves confusion, and makes quitting porn not just possible, but easy. Now I know. If you've ever struggled with porn, if you've tried the streaks, the blockers, the filters, the shame spirals, the idea that quitting could be easy might sound laughable. You might have already said it in your head. It's not that simple, but that's the twist. That voice in your head, the one that says it must be harder, more dramatic, more painful, that voice is the addiction talking. The Easy Peasy Method pulls that voice into the light and says, let's look at this together. What if you're not weak? What if you're not broken? What if the only reason it's felt hard is because you've believed a lie? That's the heart of the method. It's not about resistance. It's about seeing through. It doesn't give you more tools to fight with. It shows you that there's nothing to fight. And in that simplicity, something incredible happens. The craving stops being powerful. The habit starts feeling hollow. And you realize you were never actually trapped. You were just mistaken. Let me tell you a few stories. Stories of people, not superhumans, not monks or mystics. Just regular people who saw something clearly for the first time and, in that moment, stepped into freedom. There was Ben, 36 years old, software engineer, smart, focused, and like so many others, someone who lived a double life. At work, he was efficient. With friends, he was funny. But behind closed doors, he felt stuck in a loop he couldn't explain. He'd tried everything: accountability partners, reward charts, even deleting all social media. But nothing held. His turning point? It came when he was reading the Easy Peasy book late one night, not expecting much, half distracted. Then he read a line that hit him like a bell. You're not giving anything up. You're losing nothing. He paused, reread it, and suddenly something clicked. He realized that every time he'd tried to quit before, he'd framed it as a sacrifice, as a painful path toward purity. But in that moment, he saw that porn wasn't a treasure. It was a thief. It was stealing his time, his energy, his joy, and he was the one treating it like a reward. From that day on, he didn't need to wrestle with cravings. He didn't need willpower. He'd seen through the lie. He'd shifted his perspective. And in that simplicity, that one insight, he walked free. Then there's Sarah, a kind-hearted art teacher in her 20s. Her story was a little different. Her relationship with porn was more about boredom and curiosity than compulsion. She told herself it was normal. Everyone does it. It wasn't hurting anyone. But deep down, she felt disconnected. Her creativity had dulled. Her sense of intimacy felt flat. She couldn't explain why, but her joy felt muted. Her realization came not in the middle of a binge, but on a quiet Saturday morning while journaling. She'd written the sentence, "What if I'm numbing something I'm meant to feel?" And suddenly, the pieces fell into place. She saw that porn had become her shortcut. Instead of feeling fully, loneliness, longing, restlessness, she was buffering with stimulation. And while it wasn't out of control, it was out of alignment. What made quitting easy for Sarah wasn't shame or fear. It was that she simply wanted more from life, more depth, more color, more feeling. She realized she wasn't giving up pleasure. She was reclaiming real pleasure, the kind that lingers, the kind that grows, not the fleeting spike of dopamine, but the quiet bloom of presence. That was her freedom. Then there was Jamal, early 40s, a father, husband, and community leader. He'd hidden his porn use for decades, ashamed not just of the habit, but of what it made him believe about himself. He saw himself as two people: the man he showed to the world and the man who watched porn in secret. He tried to quit many times, each time fueled by guilt. But guilt has a short shelf life. Eventually, the cycle would start again. His realization came when he read a section in the Easy Peasy Method that asked, if you could press a button and never want porn again, would you? The answer was obvious, yes, and the follow-up hit even harder. Then why wait? That simple question shattered something in him. He realized he didn't actually enjoy it. He didn't need it. He'd just been conditioned to believe he did. That's what addiction is, not dependence on a substance, but dependence on a belief. From that moment, the secrecy lost its grip. He started being honest, with himself first, then gently with others. And what he found wasn't shame, it was relief. Because without porn, he didn't feel deprived. He felt whole. He felt aligned. And his sense of integrity returned. Not as an effort, but as a result of no longer living in contradiction. These stories may sound different in detail, but they all share one common thread. The moment of clarity was simple. It wasn't about external tools or moral panic. It was about flipping the switch in the mind. From, I need this, to, I never needed it at all. And that's the genius of the easy peasy method. It reminds us that complexity is the disguise of addiction. It makes you think you need a 12-step system, a lifetime battle plan, a guilt-ridden script. But you don't. You just need to see clearly. Let's take a breath here, because maybe you're listening and you've been trying to quit for months or years. Maybe you've had good days and hard relapses. Maybe you've told yourself, I'll stop when things calm down, or I just need a little more willpower. And maybe, deep down, you've started to believe that it's always going to be hard. But what if that's the illusion? What if the very trying is what's keeping the habit alive? What if the only thing standing between you and freedom is a belief? And what if that belief can shift, not through force, but through insight? The beauty of this method is that it never asks you to fight. It asks you to see, to stop blaming yourself and start questioning the assumption that porn has ever truly served you. To ask honestly, what am I actually getting out of this? And what's it costing me? When you realize the cost, your time, your peace, your energy, your clarity, it stops feeling like a reward. And when you realize the gain, presence, creativity, joy, connection, it stops feeling like a loss. This is where true simplicity lives, not in gritting your teeth through withdrawal, but in dropping the story that porn ever gave you something you couldn't already find inside yourself. That's where freedom begins. Not at the end of a streak, but in a single moment of truth. Not in complexity, but in clarity. Not in struggle, but in surrender. So if you're listening to this and something is clicking, lean in. Trust it. You don't need another plan. You just need to stop buying the lie that porn is a friend, a treat, a need. It's not. It never was. And the moment you see that, not just in your head, but in your bones, you're free. No more bargaining, no more waiting, no more managing. Just release. Thanks for sharing this moment with me on Methodcast. I hope today's conversation felt like a soft breeze clearing the mental fog. Remember, simplicity isn't about less. It's about truth. And when you live from that place, you don't need to force change. You just become who you were always meant to be. Please give this podcast a like, share the Methodcast with a friend, or leave a comment. Healing grows when we talk about it. Keep going, keep growing, and know that your freedom isn't just possible. It's already on its way. Until next time, stay kind to yourself. The hard part isn't quitting, it's believing it has to be hard. Let it be simple, let it be now, let it be done.